So I wanted to make a little video for NGS, going over kind of the setup I've really been enjoying. I've been playing fighter, mostly using Double Saber as my main weapon. Force is a really good subclass because of the PP recovery that you can constantly have, and also having access to the skill. What is it called here? PP conversion. Having access to that is nice for the extra PP. The only other multi-weapon I've been messing around with is using the Hunter sub and having a wired lance, which this is amazing for vertical tracking. And I'm going to show this off in a solo boss run I do in the next day here. And as you can see, you can use the weapon action for it even if Hunter is not my subclass. So having one of these on you just for like fighting a flying enemy, like a boss especially that you need to get up high, as long as you're locked on, you can hit this like a few times and you can keep climbing your height up and up to the top of the boss. And it's just really, really nice to have. But other than that, the Hunter subclass is very mediocre, seeing how it's just damage reduction. So the really nice combo that I found is Talis, because one thing I see that Double Saber lacks is AoE. It really only has this for AoE, which is nice because you're immune the entire time that circle's spinning around you, but it really doesn't do a lot of damage. Double Saber seems to be really nice for single target damage. So using the Talis, something I didn't know about it, I don't know much about the Talis yet, I'm very new to it for NGS, is every skill, cast does a certain thing. So if you charge that move, it shoots the volcano down from the sky. If I just tap it, it does a little spinning circle. But what I did not know is that the other PAs that Talis has are essentially modifiers for your techs. So if I do the first part of that move and then I use my fire spell, you see it modifies it and now shoots 3 orbs like that. Now if I let the PA fully finish, you see it does that big AoE, and now I have another modified move which allows me to just keep casting, and it's only about 9 PP or so roughly, so it's not that expensive, and this will last on you as far as I can tell for as long as you maintained using the Talis. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it ends. Yeah, it does end with time there. The other way that it will end is if you use any of your Double Saber moves, you will have to reactivate the PA to modify the tech. But essentially this allows you to have 3 weapon palettes with the 3 different elements, and you can modify that depending on what mob you're facing, and it is very, very potent. I am going to show it off for just a few minutes here if there were some enemies. Apparently just these enemies. So start off by casting attack, let it fully pop, and while it doesn't do a ton of damage because you're doing because you don't really have tech bonuses necessarily, it still does good damage, and it's really going to be used for like the dense mobbing situations only. Like, you're not going to use your techs for single target because that's what the Double Saber thrives at. You're really just using it where your Double Saber is lacking, which is like really AoE area-based stuff. Success. So looks like we've got some dense population over here. Let's see if we can show it off a little better. So it just does really well with just clearing like small ads like that. And again, if you do focus on the right elements, it can be a little bit better. Like for example, these guys have their belly, so we'll see if we can let's see if we can pop the front of them here. The one thing that I have to remember is I can't use my Double Saber weapon action until I use a move for Double Saber. So there we go, we were able to freeze that guy, break his chest open, and expose that weak spot. So that's just kind of another advantage that you have. Because you have the text, you have the ability to apply status. Not that it's going to be your best chance or anything like that, but it is a possibility. And as I said, you're not going to use that for a single target. It's really just going to be when there's a lot of enemies, like more than probably I'd say 3 enemies or so around you. So I'll just hit this one last area and then kind of finish up. I plan on doing another one with the Hunter sub, which the subclass is not as good, but the utility for the wired lances and the mobbing for the wired lances is also very strong. So it can be a really good option. But as you see, you can really just clear out a lot of the smaller enemies pretty quickly. Quicker, the most part, than you're going to get with your skill here, where you're just throwing your Double Saber around you. But that is going to be it for this video. I just wanted to show off the combination between the Talis and the Double Saber. And again, just because there's only 4 of each weapon in the like the weapon type, it's nice that the Double Saber and Talis are both in this Velto series, which is one of the higher end 4 stars that you need to be level 14 to equip, whereas the Resurger series is level 11. And pretty much they have different potentials, which this one seems decent, but it says successful sidestep, and with Double Saber you're more using the weapon action to counter more than sidestepping. But also, other than that, the potency seems to be lower. I'm level 2 here, but I believe it was 18% if I'm not mistaken for the tier 1, whereas this is 16%. So that series does seem a little bit stronger, and it's got the Talis. But that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to do another one showing off the wired lance as well, because I think those are probably the 2 best options for the Double Sabers. But thanks for watching. Have a good one.